Good morning, everyone. So my little review, mod, whatever you want to call it, for a Toro, self-propelled, and then I've got 322-inch right here. This one, the two right here have the Kohler engine. Over here have the Honda engine. The Honda engine has a personal pace, which is cool. You just walk behind it and it just kind of keeps up with you. It's like automatic. I love the engines. I love the mowers. The mowers. There's a few little design flaws they have for, let's just call it a little more extreme environments, rougher terrain. With a manicured lawn and whatnot, the problems might not be a problem unless you've got, say, pine trees or magnolia trees or rocks or something. And I'm going to show you how I fixed it. A little hint is a little bolt right here and over there. I was gonna put two, and I'm opting for one at the moment. So that's why I put that one in the center. Let's get to it and show you what I've done. Buddy. All right. So I'm going to show you the design flaw. Rocks, pine cones, whatever will strike this metal piece and eventually start bending it out. This is the drive shaft. On the other one in the middle here, I've actually had this push against this at one point from just hitting stuff. So what I've done is I've got a 5-inch bolt. I used a locking nut here so it won't come loose too easily, too quickly. And you can see, so it's a grade 5, which is probably overkill. Grade 8, nuts and washers. They didn't have grade 8, but all of this is probably a bit overkill. It's a 3/8 bolt. Because I put this here because it's actually, this is gonna push against here. Put a nice big washer. 2 nuts so I can lock it. Another nice heavy duty nut washer right here. And then nylon here, just try to keep it from trying to come loose. And this is actually gonna try push against the front end of this deck and try to hold it so it doesn't want to keep coming here. What happens is as this comes forward, this opens up and this opens up. And then debris gets caught in here, pine cones get caught in here, whatever, and it opened up even more. And you see I even dropped a little nut and bolt right in here, washers on both sides, to help close this up. Come on, focus. Because before I fix this, it's actually bowing outward. And I actually had to clamp it. And on the other one, I'll show you what I did as well. So anyway, that's what I've done to fix it. And it's firmer, a lot better now. And given a normal environment, you might not have that problem. And if you do, even those 2 little nuts right behind the wheels, whoops, would probably be good enough. All right, so I did the same thing here. Only here, what I did is I clamped it, and then, I need to trim that, and then welded it with some booger welds. And my plan was to try to weld this whole seam to hold this plate in place. Well, the gap was kind of big, and I've got a stick, and this material is a little on the thin side. I also actually started melting that. I should have pulled the wheels off. So anyway, same thing, 5-inch bolt, ran it through. Like I said, my original idea was to put one here, put another one right here to help push this out and hold it. I'm kind of over trying to drill through the mower. And you'll see what happens. That's bent to hell. This is tore up all the hell from hitting rocks and God only knows what. Grant you, I've had this one for a while. And it sees pretty harsh terrain. I can live with it, the plastic being broken away. I didn't actually care. Anyway, that's my fix for those two. This one I've actually modified and gave myself a choke lever. Made this piece came with on the lawnmower, bent this piece out, took this off of a throttle control that you can get off Amazon, and took it off of its original mount and put it on this mount, and made the hole slightly bigger, and then added my own wire, and there we go. I had a problem with the auto choke feature. All this stuff is spring driven. Oh yeah, also you notice the governor has been disconnected here. Oops. Not one of those things that people like to see, because I fixed that throttle. Because the environment out here, the grass gets thick and whatnot. I'm dealing with some harsh grass. All three engines are very powerful. The problem is, out here, I need all the power I can get. You don't run it at 100%, you're in about 70 or so percent, and you won't mess up your engine. You can run these engines at 100% for short burst, not long term. Oh man, I've already scuffed that one up. But what happens is it likes to run much lower, and then when I hit something thick, it stalls out because it needed that power that it wasn't at. You could also put a throttle cable up on the handle over here, and so you could rev it up when you need to and rev it down. I use this basically just out here. Anyway, so right here, I can show you exactly what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to look like this little L arm, and this thing flexes. Whew. And as this goes in and out, this is actually connected to the throttle cable. In fact, this controls your auto choke, which I've taken all that stuff off and put this. I'm not a big fan of the auto chokes and all that stuff anyway. It's all spring driven, and with time those springs give up. Alrighty, here's the same brand, same everything, except for those are front wheel drive. I really like the front wheel drive more. I believe the front wheel drives actually feel heavier compared to the Honda. This is the Toro 22-inch rear wheel. This one actually feels lighter, but I don't prefer it as much because I think it's easier to turn and stuff with the front wheel drive. I do love the personal pace a lot. I've done the similar thing here. I've adjusted. I've had these for a while, these last two. And so I started playing with this one with the idle. And I thought the engine was kind of gutless. And then I started playing with the idle a little bit, raised it up a little. All of a sudden it just ran like a top. I mean, beautiful. Same problem. All that plasticky bits on the bottom just destroyed over time. I ended up just pulling them all out. Because the grass here is so tall, one of the problems I do have all the time is it messing up, derailing my belt. So I've gotten to the point, all the plasticky housing, I've taken it off just to make it easier to put the belt back on. Doesn't seem to matter whether the belt was on or not, or the plastic was around the belt or not, just derailing it anyway. In fact, here's the screws. 2 screws here to hold that plasticky bit, 2 more screws on the right here, holding more plasticky bit. They just get used out on the farm. In fact, this isn't even the original air filter housing. Anyway, so all in all, I still, even though I've showed the problems, I actually still really like them. They've been fantastic mowers. I really prefer the Kohler. Both the Honda and the Kohler engine are also, you can use that pump gas. You don't have to use the ethanol free, which is awesome because quite honestly, I am not about to go and buy engineered fuel that's ethanol free. I'm not about to go and spend twice as much for ethanol-free gas at some pump that almost no one has. The other problem, if you ever have a problem with these, is the fuel bowl, which is awesome. Right here, it's a 10mm socket wrench. You pull, buddy, come on. You pull this out, let it drain for a few seconds in a bowl or whatever. Throw in a little metal container, lighter off, whatever. You drain that, or at the bottom here, oh Jesus, right here, that one's holding the bowl on. So sometimes you won't have a drain plug. Just pull the bowl off, empty it out, look at it, put it back on, let it fill back with fuel, give her a pull. This one's got one, what was it? The Honda doesn't have the drain. Not a big deal. Pull that screw off, drop the bowl, clean it, put it back on. You'd be amazed at how quick that'll fix one of these lawnmowers. And it's a 10mm socket or a wrench. I use a wrench. You can use either one, whatever. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. So anyway, I hope it helps somebody. They really have been great mowers. I think they could last quite a while. Even they've lasted quite a while out here even. I wouldn't, personally, I would ignore that. I do not like the no oil change required, but the reality is a lot of oils have gotten so much better. I put full synthetic in these because that's what I put in all the vehicles. And I'm not about to go and buy a special motor oil for a lawnmower when full synthetic is actually superior than that conventional. So I just throw full synthetic in them and give them an oil change here and there. Actually, this one even has had some other hard life. Oh, where's my booger weld? Something hit here and actually broke this, and I actually welded it. But, I mean, it's gotten some use. So anyway, oh, dragged out. Already at 12 minutes. So anyway, if you've got one of these, I'd recommend a couple of bolts. Don't get some cheap Walmart bolts. I've had those break on me so many times. I'm fortunate to have a bolt place right up the road from me. That's where I picked up these bolts. But if not, just go, I don't know, Home Depot, Lowe's. I mean, you can barely even see this bolt. I love that, how it's hidden, because I really didn't like the idea of my booger welds burning the paint, and I got some touch-up paint. I didn't like that. I don't really care for this thing sticking out, but it's like a necessary evil. And yes, originally I was going to put it here, and I changed my mind and moved it up. So anyway, I hope it helps somebody if you've got one of these and want to keep it running longer. I mean, they weren't cheap, but at the same time, I think they're a great investment, great buy if you're actually going to keep it longer than a season. I mean, I've had these two for years, and they get some abuse, not like someone mowing their yard in the city, and they've been awesome. Anyway, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, leave questions. I try to respond to all of them, and I hope it helps somebody. Toro does make an all metal deck, but I've noticed it looks like it's mostly on their commercial line. I wish they'd do that with these, because quite honestly, I think these are pricey enough, but maybe not, I don't know. I think mostly with these, what you're paying for is the engines. Anyway, y'all have a good one. It's been too long anyway. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.